You may feel perfectly fine, yet your liver could be quietly struggling beneath the surface. After 50, the smallest signs might be warnings you never thought to notice. In the next few minutes, you'll uncover what your body has been trying to tell you and how to finally respond. After the age of 50, something subtle but significant begins to happen in our bodies. We notice more easily when our knees crack or when sleep feels less restorative. But one organ, vital to nearly every function of our health, struggles in silence: the liver. It doesn't complain loudly. It doesn't signal with pain. Instead, it whispers through gentle, often unnoticed signs. And if those signs are ignored, the consequences can slowly unfold with serious impact on our quality of life. Most people associate liver issues with alcohol or extreme illness. But in reality, your liver could be overwhelmed even if you lead what most would consider a healthy life. Every day, it processes everything from food additives and environmental toxins to over-the-counter medications and emotional stress hormones. And the older we get, the more these burdens accumulate. Now here's something that surprises a lot of people. The first signs your liver is struggling may look nothing like what you'd expect. You might simply feel tired. Not the kind of tired that comes after a long day, but a kind of heavy, dragging fatigue that doesn't go away after a good night's sleep. You might chalk it up to age, but what if your liver is asking for help? There's a common breakfast habit in North America that many people think is harmless: drinking coffee with flavored creamers. Sounds innocent, right? But many of these creamers are filled with hydrogenated oils, artificial flavors, and synthetic emulsifiers. When consumed daily over years, they can place an extra metabolic burden on the liver, making it work overtime to neutralize these substances. Your liver is like your body's filter. It processes everything you eat, breathe, and even feel. If that filter is clogged, your body doesn't function as it should. You might notice brain fog, digestive discomfort, or small patches of dry skin. Maybe your energy dips sharply in the afternoon, even when you've eaten well. These are all subtle, early warning signs that your liver may not be keeping up. Now, why does this matter so much after 50? Because this is the phase in life where regenerative processes slow down. The liver is still capable of repair. Yes, it's one of the most regenerative organs in the human body, but the process is slower, more sensitive to damage, and more dependent on what you give it. One of the biggest misconceptions is that liver problems only show up in blood tests. In truth, many functional imbalances can exist long before clinical markers ever appear. This is why being attentive to these subtle signs is not just wise, it's essential. There's something else you need to know. The way you support your liver doesn't need to be extreme. In fact, many aggressive detox trends may do more harm than good, especially when they involve restrictive fasting, high-acid substances like undiluted lemon juice in the morning, or supplements not suited to your age and metabolism. The secret lies in gentle, consistent support. And here's a promise. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to share a powerful combination, a natural ingredient most people have in their kitchen right now, that, when prepared the right way, can help amplify your liver's ability to cleanse and rejuvenate itself. It's something rarely discussed, but backed by traditional wisdom and modern observation. If used improperly, it may offer little to no benefit. But with the right approach, it can become a simple yet powerful part of your daily routine. Understanding your liver is understanding your energy, your clarity, your digestion, even your mood. When your liver is overwhelmed, every system pays the price. But when you support it, the benefits ripple through every corner of your health. It's not about fear, it's about empowerment. So if you've been waking up tired, if your digestion has felt a little off, or if something just feels not quite right, don't ignore those messages. Your body is speaking to you. And one of the best ways to listen is to learn what these signs mean. The next insight might just surprise you. It involves a part of your body that many people notice changing with age, and yet few realize it's deeply connected to liver function. Ignoring it could mean that even the best detox habits won't bring the results you hope for. And worse, it might quietly increase the strain on your body over time. Let's get into it. You might not expect it, but one of the earliest and most visible signs that your liver may be struggling after 50 isn't found in your blood work or during a doctor's visit. It often appears right around your waistline. Many people begin to notice that their belly seems to grow, even when their eating habits haven't changed. You may think, oh, it's just age, or blame it on slowing metabolism. But there's more to the story, and it starts with the liver. The liver plays a key role in breaking down fats and regulating how they are stored. When the liver is overloaded or functioning below its best, fat begins to accumulate, particularly around the abdomen. This type of fat, called visceral fat, doesn't just sit there. It produces inflammatory substances that can interfere with hormones, increase insulin resistance, and over time, create a feedback loop that worsens liver function. Here's the shocker. You can have a condition known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, even if you don't drink alcohol, and even if you think you're eating reasonably well. It affects nearly 1 in 3 adults over 50 in North America, many of whom have no idea their liver is under stress. Let's take Linda, for example. She's 56, walks regularly, eats her salads, and avoids sweets. But she still carries extra weight around her midsection that just won't go away. Her doctor tells her everything is normal, but she doesn't feel normal. Her digestion is sluggish, her energy unpredictable. What Linda didn't know is that her liver was struggling to process decades of low-grade inflammation, compounded by everyday exposures like cooking oils, packaged snacks, and even stress. When the liver's natural detox processes slow down, the body holds on to more than just toxins. It holds on to fat as a protective mechanism. And guess where it stores it first? That's right, your belly. Even popular healthy foods can sometimes backfire. Take granola bars, for example. Marketed as a wholesome snack, many are loaded with fructose, soybean oil, and preservatives, all of which challenge the liver's capacity to process efficiently. The result? Hidden weight gain and deeper metabolic disruption. But here's where it gets empowering. Recognizing this connection gives you the opportunity to reverse it. Small, intentional actions can begin shifting this balance. One of the most effective yet overlooked ways to support liver fat metabolism is through the inclusion of bitter foods. Yes, bitter. Arugula, dandelion greens, and even grapefruit, when not contraindicated by medications, stimulate bile production, a key process in breaking down fats. Walking after meals, particularly dinner, can also be powerful. Not only does it improve blood sugar control, but it gently encourages the liver to process nutrients more effectively, reducing the fat storage response. Another critical factor is hydration. Sounds simple, but many over 50 adults walk through their day mildly dehydrated, which thickens the bile and slows its flow. Thin, flowing bile is essential for moving fats through the digestive tract and out of the body. You don't need drastic changes. What you need is awareness and consistency. A glass of warm water with a slice of lemon, not the juice itself, just the slice, after meals, a handful of bitter greens with lunch, and 5 to 10 minutes of evening movement. These are simple shifts that speak directly to your liver's needs. Linda made those changes. Within weeks, her digestion improved. Her belly softened. Not because she was dieting harder, but because she was finally giving her liver what it needed to function fully. The liver is not just an organ. It's a system of communication, a metabolic powerhouse, and when treated with care, it responds quickly. Supporting your liver after 50 isn't about extreme detoxes or expensive supplements. It's about understanding the deeper story your body is telling and responding with wisdom. But we're just beginning. There's a part of your health that most people never think to connect to the liver, and yet it holds one of the most surprising clues of all. Miss this next piece, and you might find yourself doing all the right things, with little to show for it. Worse, you could unknowingly make things harder for your body over time. Let's keep going. Most people wouldn't think to connect the state of their liver with the clarity of their mind. Yet, what if the moments of forgetfulness, the mental fog, the difficulty concentrating after lunch, what if all of that had less to do with aging and more to do with a quiet imbalance inside your body? The liver is often viewed as a physical organ, filtering chemicals and producing bile. But its role goes much deeper. It's intricately linked to the brain through a communication system called the gut-liver-brain axis. This pathway allows chemical messengers to flow from your digestive system and liver directly to your brain, influencing mood, focus, and mental clarity. When your liver is overburdened, even mildly, the flow of these messages becomes disrupted. The result? A kind of mental haze that slowly settles in. You may find yourself walking into a room and forgetting why. You may read a paragraph and realize you didn't retain a word. Or you may just feel off, not quite tired, but definitely not sharp. Here's what's happening. A sluggish liver can lead to the buildup of metabolic byproducts, toxins, and inflammatory molecules in the bloodstream. Normally, your liver neutralizes and eliminates these efficiently. But when it's overwhelmed, these substances circulate longer than they should. They reach the brain and begin to affect neurotransmitter balance, blood flow, and even the protective barrier that surrounds your brain cells. This is more common than most realize, especially after 50, when hormonal changes, medication use, and decades of dietary choices begin to take their toll. Think of it this way. Your brain relies on the liver to stay clean. If the liver slows down, the brain starts to swim in fog. This might help explain why some people feel mentally clearer after making dietary changes that support liver health. It's not magic, it's biology. Your liver clears used-up hormones like estrogen and cortisol. When these build up, they can affect your sleep, your focus, and your mood. That's why poor liver function is sometimes mistaken for depression or early cognitive decline. Let's talk about a common scenario. You enjoy a typical North American lunch, maybe a sandwich with deli meat, a handful of chips, and a diet soda. Sounds normal, right? But this combination is rich in preservatives, nitrates, artificial sweeteners, and sodium. Your liver now has a list of jobs to do, all while still processing your breakfast and maybe a late-night snack from the day before. Meanwhile, your brain is asking for clean blood flow, balanced neurotransmitters, and a stable mood. It doesn't get what it needs, so you feel distracted. You need an extra cup of coffee. You think it's stress or aging, but the root cause may be deeper and more fixable. Now here's the hopeful part. Your liver responds quickly to support. A few targeted habits can make a big difference. First, reducing processed foods, especially artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose, can ease your liver's burden. These substances aren't just processed through your gut. They go straight to the liver, triggering detox reactions that use up nutrients your brain also depends on. Second, consider foods that gently support liver detoxification without overwhelming the system. Beets are a powerful example. Rich in betaine and antioxidants, they help your liver convert fat-soluble toxins into water-soluble ones, making it easier for your body to flush them out. Just a few slices of roasted beetroot with your lunch can be a simple start. Another overlooked strategy is deep breathing. Yes, something as basic as slow, intentional breathing can help. Why? Because your liver receives about 25% of the blood pumped from your heart. Calm breathing improves circulation, lowers stress hormones, and gives your liver a better environment to do its job. Sleep is also key. The liver performs many of its cleanup functions at night, especially between 1 and 3 a.m. If you're waking during this window or not reaching deep sleep, your liver may not be completing its tasks. Try limiting food intake after 8 p.m. and avoid alcohol or high-sugar snacks late at night, which can disrupt both sleep and liver function. Lastly, don't underestimate the impact of your thoughts. Chronic stress activates the release of cortisol, which the liver must break down and clear. Practicing mindfulness, journaling, or even 5 minutes of silence each day can reduce this load in meaningful ways. When you support your liver, you support your mind. Clarity returns. Focus sharpens. Your mood lifts. It's not about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming vitality at any age. The next step is absolutely critical. It involves something you can actually see in the mirror, a signal that often appears without warning. And ignoring it could not only delay your progress, but quietly contribute to long-term imbalance that's much harder to reverse. Let's explore it. It often begins as something so small, so easy to overlook. A patch of dry skin on your forearm, a mild itch at night that doesn't seem to go away, or maybe a few new spots on your skin that you hadn't noticed before. It might seem like just another part of getting older, a random skin irritation, or a sign that the weather is changing. But what if your skin was trying to tell you something deeper? The liver is the body's main detoxification center, and when it can't keep up with its workload, your body finds other ways to eliminate what it no longer needs. One of those ways is through your skin. Yes, your skin is a backup detox organ. When your liver slows down, your skin often picks up the slack, but not without consequences. Let's consider a common situation. Mark is 63. He's active, still working, and overall feels in decent health. But he started noticing small red patches on his back. They don't hurt, just itchy sometimes. His doctor suggests a topical cream. It helps briefly, but the spots return. What no one tells Mark is that his liver might be struggling to break down excess hormones, medications, or environmental toxins. This is more common than many realize. The liver processes compounds like histamine, a natural substance involved in allergic reactions. When the liver isn't functioning optimally, histamine can build up in the blood, triggering skin irritation, rashes, and itching, especially at night when the body enters a more active detox state. Another visible clue is hyperpigmentation. You might notice dark patches appearing on your face, shoulders, or hands. While sun exposure plays a role, these marks are also connected to liver function. When your liver can't process estrogen efficiently, it circulates longer than it should, sometimes leading to melasma or uneven skin tone. What about those tiny red or purple dots, often called cherry angiomas? While generally benign, their sudden appearance or increase in number can suggest an internal detox imbalance. It's not about fear, it's about paying attention. One of the most empowering realizations is that your skin is a mirror, not of beauty, but of balance. When the liver is supported, many skin issues that were once persistent or mysterious begin to calm down. The itch fades, the patches lighten, the tone evens out. So what can you do? First, reduce your exposure to common household toxins. Many fabric softeners, cleaning sprays, and even scented candles contain compounds that your liver must neutralize. Choose natural or fragrance-free alternatives. Ventilate your home. Open windows when possible. Every little bit reduces the load. Second, be mindful of over-the-counter medications. Acetaminophen, commonly known as Tylenol, for example, is one of the leading causes of liver stress when overused, especially when combined with alcohol. If you use pain relievers regularly, consider discussing alternatives with your healthcare provider and explore natural anti-inflammatory options like turmeric or magnesium. Third, boost your intake of sulfur-rich foods. These include garlic, onions, cabbage, and broccoli. Sulfur supports Phase 2 liver detox, the step where your liver transforms harmful substances into water-soluble compounds for elimination. Roasted Brussels sprouts with a dash of lemon or a garlic-infused vegetable stir-fry can be delicious and deeply restorative. Don't forget hydration. Your skin reflects your liver's ability to eliminate. Without enough water, toxins stay longer in your system, increasing the chance they'll be pushed out through the skin instead of the kidneys or colon. You might also benefit from gentle skin brushing. Using a soft, natural bristle brush, sweep your skin in upward motions before showering. This helps stimulate lymphatic flow and encourages the release of toxins through more efficient channels. Finally, nourish your liver with rest. The hours between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. are when your liver works hardest. Respecting that rhythm by getting to bed earlier allows your body to complete its healing work more effectively. Even small adjustments, like dimming lights an hour before bed, can signal your system to wind down. When your liver is burdened, your skin often speaks first. But when you begin to listen and support it with care and consistency, your body responds. You begin to feel more at home in your skin. Literally. The next insight is one of the most overlooked and misunderstood. It involves a part of your body that rarely gets linked to the liver, yet it holds surprising clues about your metabolic health. Ignoring this could not only slow your progress, but lead to downstream effects that are more difficult to undo later. Let's look at it more closely. One of the most surprising signals that your liver may be under pressure doesn't come through your digestion, your skin, or even your energy levels. It comes through your temperature. More specifically, how often you feel cold or overly warm without a clear reason. It might sound strange at first, But your ability to regulate body temperature is deeply connected to liver function. Here's why. The liver is a metabolic engine. It produces heat, stores energy, and plays a key role in balancing your internal thermostat. When your liver is healthy, your body adjusts smoothly to temperature changes. But when the liver is overloaded or sluggish, this balance can start to falter. That's when things like cold hands and feet, sudden hot flashes, or night sweats can become more frequent, even in people who don't typically experience hormonal shifts. You might have heard people say, "I'm always cold now," or "I wake up drenched in sweat for no reason." These complaints are often dismissed as part of getting older. But temperature instability is also a subtle way your liver signals that it's working harder than it should be. Here's what happens behind the scenes. As your liver processes toxins, hormones, and nutrients, it generates metabolic heat. But if liver function slows down, energy production becomes less efficient. Your body has to compensate. Sometimes it reacts by constricting blood vessels to conserve heat, especially in the extremities. Other times, it overcompensates, causing waves of heat or sweating as it tries to correct internal imbalances. There's also the role of glucose. Your liver stores and releases glucose into the bloodstream to maintain stable energy, especially between meals or during the night. When that function is impaired, blood sugar levels may drop too low or spike irregularly. Both scenarios can cause symptoms like chills, shakiness, or even excessive sweating. And let's not forget sleep. If you're waking up at night feeling too hot or too cold, your liver could be part of the equation. Remember, your liver is most active during the early hours of the morning. If it's under stress, you might feel the effects more intensely during those hours. Simple lifestyle habits can help regulate these responses. One of the most effective is stabilizing blood sugar. Eating meals at regular intervals, including quality protein and fiber, and avoiding high sugar, high refined carb snacks, especially at night, can lessen the burden on your liver and reduce temperature fluctuations. Also, don't underestimate mineral balance. Magnesium, for example, supports over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, many of which involve energy production and temperature control. A warm bath with Epsom salt before bed is more than relaxing. It can replenish magnesium and calm the nervous system, indirectly supporting the liver's overnight duties. Movement helps too. Gentle stretching or a 10-minute walk after meals increases circulation and helps your body distribute heat more evenly. It also encourages better glucose metabolism, which lightens the load on your liver. If you experience night sweats, try adjusting your dinner routine. Avoid eating heavy meals within 2 hours of bedtime and choose calming, liver-supportive foods like steamed vegetables, lean protein, and warm herbal teas. Peppermint and chamomile are especially soothing and can aid the body's natural cooling mechanisms. But perhaps the most important change you can make is to pay attention. Notice your patterns. Do your hands feel icy after coffee? Do you sweat after processed foods? Do you feel drained and chilly after a restless night? These aren't random. They are messages, and the more you tune in, the more you can respond with care. There is a power in understanding that warmth, energy, and balance are not luxuries. They are signals of harmony within. And when your liver is supported, your body stops swinging between extremes. It settles. It rests. It finds its natural rhythm again. The next insight brings us to the core of everything we've talked about. It holds the key to real, lasting change, and skipping it not only risks missing results, it may actually lead to the opposite of what you hope to achieve. Because when it comes to natural health, how you do something matters just as much as what you do. Stay with me. By now, you've come to understand that the liver speaks in whispers, through your skin, your sleep, your energy, your focus, and even your temperature. But all of these signals point to one critical truth. What you do daily, how you support your liver in small, consistent ways, matters more than any quick fix or trendy cleanse. One of the most common mistakes people make when trying to detox their liver is following overly aggressive methods. Lemon juice in the morning, vinegar shots, extreme fasting, or heavy herbal concoctions that promise overnight transformation. These approaches may feel proactive, but for a liver that's already under strain, they can be more irritating than healing. The truth is, the liver doesn't need to be shocked into action. It needs to be nourished, gently and intelligently. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through preparation, specifically how you prepare the foods and herbs that support its natural function. Take beets, for example. Raw beet juice has gained popularity as a liver tonic. But raw beets, while rich in beneficial compounds, are also hard to digest for many people over 50. The better way? Lightly roast or steam them. This breaks down fibers, releases betaine and antioxidants in a gentler form, and supports bile flow without overwhelming the digestive system. Now let's talk about dandelion root. Often sold in tea form, this humble herb has been used for centuries to stimulate bile production and assist in liver detoxification. But here's the key: it should be brewed properly. Many people pour hot water over a bag for 30 seconds and move on. But dandelion root, being dense and fibrous, needs a longer steep, at least 10 minutes, preferably covered, to fully release its compounds. Turmeric is another favorite, known for its anti-inflammatory benefits and liver support. But curcumin, its active compound, is poorly absorbed on its own. Adding a pinch of black pepper and a healthy fat source, like olive oil or coconut milk, can increase its absorption by over 1,000%. That's not marketing hype. That's science-backed synergy. Now, as promised, here is the bonus that brings it all together. There is an herb that's often overlooked in liver support: rosemary. Not just a culinary spice, rosemary contains compounds like rosmarinic acid and ursolic acid that activate phase 2 liver enzymes and support detox pathways. But here's where most people go wrong. They sprinkle it raw over food or use it dried, losing much of its potency. To truly benefit, prepare a rosemary infusion. Take a small handful of fresh rosemary, steep it in hot water for 15 minutes, covered. Sip slowly. When used in the afternoon or early evening, this infusion supports liver enzyme activity and helps the body wind down for better overnight repair. It's these kinds of details that make all the difference. Because when you combine ingredients with the right methods, you're not just adding nutrients, you're unlocking their healing potential. That's how you go beyond surface-level health advice and into true transformation. Let this be a reminder. Your liver doesn't need to be punished or pushed. It needs to be listened to, supported, and respected. It works every minute of every day, filtering your blood, metabolizing fats, balancing hormones, and fueling your energy. When you care for it, it cares for every part of you in return. So ask yourself, what small change can I make today that nourishes this vital part of me? Maybe it's choosing warm, cooked meals instead of cold, processed snacks. Maybe it's creating a calming evening ritual that supports better sleep. Or maybe it's as simple as sipping a rosemary infusion and giving your body the message, I hear you. Because the truth is, the body wants to heal. It's always working in that direction. And when we give it the right tools, in the right way, the results speak for themselves. If you found value in this journey, consider sharing it with someone you care about. A small insight can spark a big change. Like, comment, or subscribe if you feel inspired. Not for numbers, but because together we create a space where health is honored, not hurried, where knowledge empowers, not overwhelms, and where your body, at any age, is worthy of care, patience, and deep respect.